Hello and welcome to another episode of the Solo Collective podcast. My name's Matt Saunders and I'm your host. I work as a coach to freelancers and creative agency owners. And today, I'm actually recovering from a bit of a cold, so I don't want to start on low vibes, but if I sound a bit huskier than usual, that explains why. Anyway, in today's episode, I want to talk a little bit about the subject of money. Money. The topic that a lot of people recoil from, particularly in British culture. You know, we're taught not to talk about money. We don't tell people what we earn. We don't talk about these sort of subjects over dinner. But as a business owner or as a freelancer, anyone who's self-employed, who's up to their own thing in the world, like you can't avoid this subject. You're out there talking to potential clients about making money, about working with them to help them make more money. And of course, you're a business owner yourself, so you want to make money. And so we're exchanging our time and our services and our products for money. And so it's really an unavoidable subject. But the angle that I'm going to come at today is not about, that we should all be earning more and that money's great and all this kind of stuff, which it is, by the way. And I think that we should all be earning more. But I heard something recently that struck a chord with me, and that is that money loves a purpose. And the moment I heard that, I thought, wow, that's something that just hasn't really come into my consciousness before. I think it's something that I always knew, but it hasn't come into my conscious realization before. Money loves a purpose. And the idea is that money flows, it follows inspiration, it follows ideas, and it follows action. And all of that requires purpose. It needs a why behind it. So in this episode, I'm going to talk a little bit about what that purpose could be for you. And so then you can apply some purpose, a deeper purpose to the actions that you take in your business. And so you can earn more money. So if you've been in the entrepreneurial space for a while, and you've been on social media and you've been, asking questions and Googling around how to grow your business, how to find more clients, how to charge more, how to earn more, all these kinds of like money related questions, business related questions. If you've been doing any of that, you will more than likely have been hit by ads on YouTube and Facebook and LinkedIn from business coaches and people in the coaching world promising you strategies and frameworks to reach 10K months and to become a six-figure business and all this kind of stuff. It seems like something that over the past few years has just absolutely taken flight. 10K months seems to be the gold standard for solo business owners to reach. And don't get me wrong, I love that number. I think it's a nice round number to reach for, And if you want to hire somebody to support you, if you want to grow your business, if you want to get premises, for most people, 10 grand a month would be enough. Even if you have a family of 4 or 5 people to support, 10 grand a month would be enough for you to have a nice little business there. But for me, the whole discourse around 10K months, six-figure business, etc., is always missing the context. What it does is it promises you a result without getting you to introspect on the purpose of it. And as I said earlier, money loves a purpose. Money needs a purpose. And this rings so true for me because when I first started freelancing in 2009, my business, in fact, my entire life really did lack purpose. If you've listened to me talk about this topic in the past, you'll know that I left a full-time job because I didn't want a full-time job. I wanted to work from home because I didn't want to travel and commute every day. And so it was really a retreat for me from the full-time permanent role. But there was nothing pulling me into freelancing. There was nothing pulling me into it. I was running away. And so the purpose wasn't strong enough. It wasn't, I got myself out of that situation. But then when I got myself into a new situation of self-employment, there was nothing really there to really make anything happen. There was no purpose. And so you can imagine what it was like trying to sell my services and trying to make money with that mindset in that environment that I created for myself. So we all need a purpose, and money is no exception. Money needs a purpose as well. So what do we mean by purpose? It doesn't need to be something profound. It doesn't need to be something that you give a ton of thought to. In fact, actually, this is something you may want to reflect upon. What is the purpose of money to you? And if you were to reach, say, 100K this year, imagine it's done. Imagine it's guaranteed. There is no way that you cannot reach 100 grand this year. What would you spend it on? How would you invest it? Where would it go in your business? This is the purpose that we're looking for. For me, I first reached 100K in 2020 when I was running a web development business. And I'll be honest with you, my conscious awareness of the purpose of that money wasn't there at the time, but I was funneling ridiculous amounts, for me, into a an ISA to save a deposit for a house. And I think I put aside about 30 grand in the space of 12 months. If you'd have asked me at the time, what is the purpose of money in your business? I wouldn't have really been able to consciously answer that question. But looking back, that's what I was doing. My partner and I had been looking for a house for a while and the money wasn't there. And so I was self employed. I know that when you're self employed, you can create as much money as you want. So that's essentially what I did. I was just doing it unconsciously. There was a purpose there, but it was an unconscious purpose. So in this conversation, I would invite you to reflect on what the purpose is for you. Because if you're just in business and there's no financial goals and no financial incentive, you're probably just going to stay where you are. And actually, there's no such thing as plateauing. We're either expanding or contracting. And if you're not consciously expanding in the way that you see yourself, in your mindset, in the services and skill sets that you offer to the world, then you're really at the whims of the market. And the market is something that naturally seems to contract and expand over time. It's not something that we can control, but we can control ourselves. And again, that comes back to the purpose that we feel and the intentions that we set for ourselves. So when we don't set intentions and when we don't set goals, we can feel really quite aimless. I think back to when I started, and nobody ever told me in my life that I needed to have goals. And I had some pretty bad associations and ideas about money. And so there was lots of mindset blocks that were holding me back and actually stopping me from investing in myself and stopping me from actually making money as well. So the invitation is to see all of these coaching programs and courses that are offering you the 10K months, etc., and just sort of put that on a back burner for a moment and get back to basics. What I'd like you to do is get a piece of paper and just write out a number that you would like to be earning per year. And whatever feels right, just go with that. It doesn't need to be something that other people have told you need to be earning. It doesn't need to be capped in any way either. So we don't really want to be bringing lots of baggage into this. Just write down a number that would be great for you. It might be 50 grand a year. It might be 3 grand a month. It might be 20 grand a month. I don't know what your situation is. Only you know that. But just get a number that feels comfortable, but a little bit uncomfortable for you. So it still has a kind of growth aspect to it. And once you write that down, I mean, you put it in the center of a piece of paper and then spider diagram out all of the things that this money would enable for you in your life and in your business. You might say, for example, if I'm earning 10 grand a month, I would hire a VA to repurpose my social media content. If I was earning 10 grand a month, I would put enough aside to take 6 months off entirely and go traveling. If I was earning 10 grand a month, I would invest more into my pension so I could retire earlier. Whatever this looks like for you, this is your money purpose. Remember, money needs a purpose. And when I say money needs a purpose, money isn't some conscious thing in its own right. This is about your own mindset and the way that the energy that you bring into your business and to the actions that you take on a day-to-day basis. That's where the purpose comes from. Because if you can take aligned and inspired action in your business that is aligned with the things that you want to make happen, that purpose, you will find that the money comes so much more easily. And if you're wondering why, it is simply because there is a reason behind the actions that you take. We each must find a purpose that is meaningful to us because blazing your own trail in life is pretty difficult. You've chosen to get off of that well-trodden path, the one that is already established, the one that's carved out for you in life. You could just go on that, have security and income, but you've chosen not to do that, which means you've got to create your own purpose. And money, it needs that purpose. So set the goal that you want for yourself Imagine everything that it would enable for you and think of this in really positive terms and feel it as you write it and imagine it. And then look at it often, multiple times a day. Just immerse yourself in the imagery and the feelings of earning that number, that amount of money. Saturate yourself with this purpose. Take action from that place, and you will find that things begin coming to you in these magical and mysterious ways because you are somebody who is operating in faith and on purpose. So that's what I've got for you in this episode. I hope that it was helpful. If so, do let me know. You can find me on LinkedIn, just search for Matt Saunders, or you can send me an email at hi@mattsaunders.uk. And if you're looking for some support to grow your business, check out mattsaunders.uk/membership. The Solo Collective is not just a podcast, it is a community as well. We have a private members forum. We meet every week on Zoom, and we help each other to generate ideas, overcome our own mindset blocks, and just mingle in a supportive space. So check that out, and maybe I will see you there. Lastly, if you could take a moment to like this podcast and give it a rating on whatever platform you listen to, that would be great. And share this episode on your social media or with someone who you feel needs to hear it. So thank you for listening, and I'll see you next time.